everyone for joining. My name is James Thomas. That did give the opportunity to allow a few more of you guys to join. Appreciate it. Doesn't look like we lost anyone, so that's good news. We are recording the webinar, so you can go ahead and share this with colleagues within your office or other firms that you may think are interested, but we'll go ahead and get started. So today this is our second webinar. It's a webinar series that we're doing bi-weekly on different items around intake. And this week is No Lead Left Behind, Mastering Re-engagement to Convert More Cases. Intake Kings, who we are and what we do. At Intake Kings, we're not a call center. We are a technology and innovation company with decades of experience in legal intake and sales. Our mission is to hold your intake team accountable, streamline workflows, and help you convert more leads into clients by utilizing, three core tactics. And with the three different tactics that we use, what does Intake Kings do is we do intake audits where we can identify gaps, weaknesses, and missed opportunities in your current intake process. We do sales training for intake teams where we train teams to convert leads like closers and not order takers. And then the one thing we're going to really talk about today that you can leverage is technology and automation. Intake Kings is a powerful software that can help with lead conversion for your law firm, streamline intake, automate follow-ups, and maximize conversions. And that's why it's so powerful for re-engagement campaigns like we'll talk about today. How much are you losing by not re-engaging with your previous leads and contact lists? And re-engagement is probably the most underutilized tactic that we see in the legal space. And what we mean by re-engagement is not necessarily following up with leads. It's contacting people at one point contacted your firm that you have either retained as clients, you have rejected as clients, they have rejected you, or you never got a hold of them. All of those different databases are very, very important. Today we'll cover proven strategies and automation tools that can turn lost leads and even leads that didn't turn into anything into retained clients, and then obviously how our software can help in that process. Also, you may have technology that you're underutilizing right now that we can help you leverage. What is the real cost of a lost lead? Well, 70% of lost leads are never contacted again by the law firm, and that is the number one thing we see is that there's not enough follow-up in the initial 2, 3 week, 4 period. But even after that, we see little to no interaction with leads after the initial contact. Every lost lead is wasted marketing spend. Re-engagement gives you another shot. 3, the power of follow-ups. Why firms that re-engage see massive gains. One thing we see is that the typical consumer really looks at their lawyer or their law firm that they called. Even if they don't get retained, if someone talked to them, the relationship and the perception of what a lawyer and a law firm are very different than what we think of it as. So always don't underestimate the value that you create, even by someone calling your law firm, talking to them, even if you don't retain that case. Even better if you do retain that case and give them a really great experience, get them a great settlement, do very well for them in their case or whatever they're going through. That's even someone else that you need to re-engage because you're going to remind them all the time that you're there to help. And we'll talk about some of those tactics. And then how many cases get marked unwanted when you could have helped? Make sure you're auditing this within your firm. That's very, very important. We see this unwanted case metric all the time when we're working with firms. And a lot of the times we go back through that with the attorneys, and something that gets marked unwanted by someone else on the staff is actually someone you could have helped and someone you could even have talked to and maybe even give them some good advice and kept them on the long tail of this. The solution: automated workflows to ensure that every lead is re-engaged at least once a month, maybe even twice a month, even after that first initial several attempts to get them on the phone. Now, we always suggest that you should be very, very aggressive within the first 2 or 3 weeks when a lead gets submitted through your website, calls your firm. But after that, what do you do with them? We suggest that you're always re-engaging with them, that there is some sort of automation that you're setting up, that you're sending out some sort of newsletter, some sort of text, and we'll come over with some of those. So preset holiday, birthday, and special announcement messages via SMS, email, and calls are always great things to have. We do is we can create automations on these things so these messages automatically go out on an ongoing basis. Special announcements, anything that's happening in your community, anything that's important to your firm, anything that you can think of that's going to provide value is very, very important. And we can set up email newsletters, and then also you can set up reminders to give people a call once a month, once every few months, just to see how they're doing. Even if you couldn't help them and they feel like they were in trouble, they're going through some sort of case, they were injured, you can always call and just ask ask, hey, how are you doing? It goes a long way. All of this can be automated so you don't have to do it manually. And what we see is people say thank you. Probably the thing that I think is the coolest is that we send out lots of birthday texts for several of our clients. And every time we send out birthday texts, they always say thank you. Everyone loves to see happy birthday on their birthday. Not many companies do this, and especially law firms, people who actually have a personal connection with you, not just a transactional connection with you. And then you can track the re-engagement by tagging. So if any of these people come back, and we've seen this before, is you say happy birthday, or you say happy Thanksgiving, or happy 4th of July, we see someone go, hey, you know what? Thanks. Really appreciate it. My sister was just in a car accident. Can you help? Those types of things happen, but you have to keep the follow-up consistent. You have to keep the re-engagement, and you have to just reach out to them and not a way of like, have you been in an accident? Did you get in trouble again? Do you need any more help? It's okay to ask if they're okay, but also let's just keep it all around holidays, birthdays, and special announcements. The solution is your database is a gold mine. And a lot of times when we ask firms that are to start to work with Intake Kings, the only list they have, their past clients and their current clients. What we see, of course, we have to re-engage with those folks. The people that are happy, that are going through the process right now, we have to re-engage with them. We have to be talking with them. That is a very, very important database. But also past leads, even ones that expressed interest, but you didn't retain, or they decided they were going to choose another attorney. It's okay to, as long as you're asking for permission on your forms and your leads to reach out to them, until they say unsubscribe, you should be sending out newsletters, birthday texts, and holiday texts. Past leads, rejected leads, current clients, and then of course, past clients. Why you need to leverage automation is because if you were going to do this all manually, it would take you hours, and this is way more efficient. And you should have a database that's pretty extensive if you've been doing law for a long time. If you haven't collected any of the leads and put them into your database that have responded to any of your marketing and you haven't re-engaged them in the past, go ahead and do these things now so you can start building a better database. The bigger database you have, the bigger opportunity you have. So how can we help? The first thing we can do is we can make sure that we can tag any of the leads that are coming in from the re-engagement campaign, so we can go back and take advantage of those individuals and turn them into leads. We can do one-click campaigns and segment the outreach based on interest. We can automate a prioritization, like if anyone has high intent, has been a past client, and they have responded to any of your re-engagement campaigns, we can make sure that you get alerted on that. And then firms newsletters. We should always provide a firm newsletter. Some do it every other week, some do it once a month, some do it once a quarter. That will provide a value in community news and talk about anything in your practice area that's very, very, very important. SMS follow-up and communication is super important because we see that's a 98% open rate versus 20% for emails. There's usually a faster response time on text messages, and they're read within 3 minutes than, maybe days away. And clients prefer texting over calling. That's what we always see the highest response rate, even on re-engagement campaigns, is when we text someone. The best practices for SMS re-engagement is always to hey, and also have their name in there. We can set those parameters on any SMS campaign in the Intake King software. We can always say happy birthday, have a great day from Intake King's Law. Urgency. If they respond, I need help, we can always put something in there that if we can help you at any point, please text the word help. We can always say, if you or your family ever needs help, we are here to help you. And then the call to action, reply with the word help if you need help with your legal problem. That will instantly put it into a lead funnel, and then you can automatically reply to that and have your intake team reach out. So with Intake Kings, we can really, with the automated SMS sequences, automated response track to engage leads, text to call integration for instant connections, and then also response from emails and text. All of these things can be automated. All of these things used to take a lot of time to do manually. So this is something that we can automate. We can put different automations in for different types of leads. For past clients can have one type of automation, rejected clients can have another. So there's all kinds of opportunity in saving time and then re-engaging and creating new leads out of the people that have reached out to you. With technology and automation, instant lead response and AI and CRM tools are a huge solution. Automated follow-up via text, email, and calls within seconds for any lead that comes in is super important that you have to have. And then automated chatbots engage for 24/7 so you never miss an opportunity. That's another thing that you really have to be focused on, is making sure that you always have someone available. And there's a ton of automation that makes someone feel like like they've been responded to. If someone fills out a form on your website, a chat in your website, or even makes a call to your firm and they don't get a text message and an email instantly, that's a huge missed opportunity, because you want to engage with them on all levels so they always know where to contact you, no matter where the preferred point of contact is. And so that is a really important strategy we see and that we install for all of our clients, is that anytime someone contacts your firm, as soon as they push submit, they press send on the chat or they call you, they're going to get an email and a text message from the firm right away letting them know that you've contacted them. 80% of signed cases require 5+ follow-ups. Make sure you're following that and being very aggressive in those first few weeks. Obviously, everything we talked about with automated email and SMS sequences, keep your firm top of mind, and instant response to every lead via text and email. So anytime something comes in, you're going to want to make instant responses to make them feel like they have been responded to, so they don't go and look for another law firm. Trust what works. Why email is still effective? What we find is you can always do a reconnection email. Are you still looking for legal help? This is something that you can probably do throughout the course of the year in addition to any newsletters or holiday texts. A value email would be something like a newsletter, community news that you can do. These can include video. They can include links to your social media. I also have seen some law firms do webinars like these where they talk about certain topics around different practice areas and hold virtual town halls, which is really interesting and a great idea. Urgency emails. If you haven't heard from a lead that you know has a good case, you can always send them, "We hope you're feeling okay. Let us know how we can help." One of the biggest mistakes we see is that emails from law firms sometimes look scary, like official, or "we're calling about your case." Like, it's okay just to say, "Are you okay?" Make it light and don't make it seem so scary. That's the number one bar complaint, is all communication from law firms is either scary or confusing. Break that stigma and do something different. Also, it's always good to try to close things out and do a final check-in. And are you still considering your options? If you haven't heard from them in a while and you're still sending the re-engagement, but you still think that there's time within their case based on what they told you on the intake, you can always say, "Are you still considering your options?" and do an email around that. We can pre-build customized email sequences. You can also, with AI, automate email campaigns for nurturing needs based around email behavior, and then engagement lead systems to identify and engage contacts. So social media, we want to make sure that we're retaining anyone that comes to you and needs help on social media. That's super important because they're going to see your content. You want to make sure your content's on there. This is another feature of Intake Kings, is that we have a social media scheduling platform and engagement tool for social media. So that's really important. Social ads keep your firm top of mind, and behavior-based ads will target website visitors and engage leads, because only 2% of visitors to your website convert on the first visit. You have to bring them back. So retargeting is super important on top of the re-engagement strategies that we have already talked about in this call. So the best social re-engagement tactics are video testimonial and case results. Always talk about that. I think you see a lot of the biggest firms do that. It builds trust and credibility. You can do retargeting ads, still looking for legal help. We can assist. And of course, educational posts. Always talk about things that are educational around your firm, and then always keep things light. Make sure the personality of your firm is behind it and you're creating social content that creates not only value but entertainment to anyone that's following. So obviously we can manage all of your social accounts and communication in one place. So everything, all the messages will come into one spot. So you don't have to manage so many different social accounts. They will just go to all into an Intake Kings dashboard. And then we keep track of all the data and reporting and show you the growth as you not only have the re-engagement campaigns, but you're also doing the re-engagement on your social media as well. So reputation management for re-engagements is extremely important too. So as you know, having great reviews online is very, very important to the success, your paid search, your LSA ads, your GMBs, all of those things. So you have to have great engagement on your reputation management. After someone has a great experience with you, post-case, we've even seen some really good case studies with people who asked for reviews after they didn't even retain the client, but they gave them some good advice. That's very important. With Intake Kings, we do have a reputation management platform platform that you can easily send someone a text message within seconds of talking to them and ask them for a positive review. 90% of people trust online reviews as much as they trust personal recommendations. The firms with the best review get convert at the higher rate, much higher rate. Showcase client testimonials and emails and ads, and use Google Business and social proof to build trust. So obviously with Intake Kings, we can also personalize these things. All of our review requests are automated, and we can send text message and email. And if they don't open or click the link to go to review site, we can send them a reminder every day, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks at any cadence you want. That's all automated. The second thing we can do is anyone that has a review, we can actually automatically reply and say thank you to all the positive reviews. And then AI can power and review all the reviews you have and analyze them for response. And then the quality, we can also put in a review screening where they rank you 1 to 5 stars as any review site does. Any of the 4 stars, you'll get notified to give them a call to see how you can make that a 5-star before the review actually hits Google, Facebook, whatever review site you prefer. Automation for AI and lead nurturing. Law firms scale re-engagement without extra workload. All of this can be AI driven and automated. Data analytics track and improve the re-engagement strategies that are really happening. And then smart AI chat and messaging keeps leads engaged 24/7. So no matter when someone, contacts you after a re-engagement message, you can keep that conversation going. So what we'll do is with any lead nurturing campaigns, whether you do it with us or anyone else, is that you need to have automated lead nurturing campaigns. Everything needs to be personalized. Keep the AI and the automation going to engage leads, and keep the data and always track the data of what's actually happening to help optimize the performance. So to talk a little bit about, obviously Intake Kings and our software is it can replace a lot of the different softwares you're probably using. Take a look at your current tech stack, and if it includes any of these different softwares and you're paying these prices on the side, switching over to Intake Kings would be a great solution for you, because you can actually have all these things in one place. All the communications come to one place. All the automations are seamless. And then all of your marketing and communication methods and social and reputation management is all in one place for your intake team to take advantage of. So ready to master the re-engagement? Right now, we're offering a special offer, and we're giving everyone on this call a access for the first month at $1. So basically how that works is for the first month, you'll be able to go in and check out our software, start actually re-engaging your database, upload it within a couple minutes. Our software is built to boost the re-engagement process. We will give you a pre-built SMS and re-engagement sequence to start sending out messages immediately to anyone in your database. And then I will sit down with you for 30 minutes and walk through the system and show you exactly how it works with the re-engagement side of things. And then after you get through that first month, we have several options in getting the platform completely set up to take full advantage of the software and everything it has to offer. So that brings us to the end of my discussion. I have plenty of time to take on questions or comments, and we can talk a little bit more about re-engagement. Does anyone have any questions?
James.
Yes.
So you set up the cadence for the follow-up text messages and emails. That's kind of your strategy, is establishing that cadence for them. Is that right?
Correct. Like a baseline, we would set up happy birthday texts, holiday texts, and monthly newsletters. That would be the baseline. But within every community and practice area and firm, there's probably other things that can be leveraged that would help re-engage past clients or past leads.
And how about on like fresh inbound? So a lead just came in. What's the strategy to keep them engaged and keep them completely? Because, as soon as they engage with a personal injury firm, they're shopping.
Correct. Yeah, no, and we talked a lot about that on the last webinar last week, and I'll include that on my follow-up for everyone to listen to. But we suggest, there's any cadence you can have, but typically the cadence that we look at with the software is, within the first minutes of a lead being submitted, there's a phone call, there's an email, and a text message to that lead. leads submitted from online. When someone calls in, whenever someone inputs a lead into our system as a new opportunity, they will automatically get an email and a text message. Also, these emails and text messages with these new leads will include a calendar booking link, which is super important because that will give them the ability to book time at their convenience, which we have seen to be very, very effective. But that cadence after that first point of contact can be as frequent as possible. We have some firms doing 3 points of contact 3 times a day for the first 3 to 5 days, and then going every other day, but always utilizing text, email, and phone call.
Yeah, that makes sense to keep them off the map, get them out of the rotation to be shopping and get them into the firm's communication as quick as possible. I like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. All right. Well, I will send everyone that joined the webinar a email right after this with the special offer. Also, my email. You can always reach out to me directly, and then also a link to last week's webinar that talked a little bit more about the questions that Tom just asked around intake is sales. Was our last week's webinar. The full recording is on our YouTube channel. I will send a link to that, which will definitely go into greater detail about how to follow up with leads, which is super effective. And then be on the lookout. We'll have another webinar in 2 weeks that will cover another topic, and we'll go ahead and continue our series. So I appreciate everyone showing up today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Thank you.